Hi, and thanks for your interest in the San Francisco Department of Public Health's Mosquito Education Program. Not only will your class learn about the mosquito life cycle, but they'll also learn about insect metamorphosis beyond caterpillars and butterflies, as well as how to prevent nuisances and even diseases in their own neighborhoods.
Mosquito breeders are small plexiglass containers with a lower and upper chamber that are separated by an inverted clear funnel. The lower chamber is filled with water containing the mosquito's aquatic stages, the larvae and pupae. When the aquatic stages develop into adults, they fly through the inverted funnel and can be seen in the upper chamber. The top of the upper chamber is screened to allow for airflow. Be careful to avoid pressing on the screen. It can be easily damaged. Mosquito breeders are sure to be attention getters that can quickly enhance a student's understanding of the mosquito's relationship with water.
To get started, you'll need a bucket and a little patience. It may take the mosquitoes a month or more to develop into the desired stages that are appropriate for the breeders.
Fill the bucket half full of water and seed it with dirt, dry leaves, and weeds. If you have a classroom pet, such as a hamster or other rodent, you could also seed the water with your pet's droppings. The idea is to increase the microbial content in the water to create a growth medium for the mosquitoes. The bucket could also be placed in the sun for about a week to promote the growth of photosynthetic microbes. Since we're dealing with a non-sterile medium, keep the breeding bucket out of the reach of students. Keeping a log of the start date and developmental stages is also a good idea. After somewhere between a few days and a week, the water may develop a film on top. At this point, keep the bucket shaded. It could also be partly or loosely covered. Check the water on a weekly basis to look for the mosquito larvae, also known as wigglers. The larvae may be as small as a millimeter, but could also be as large as a quarter inch. Be aware that the wigglers may not be visible when you first approach the bucket. As soon as the wigglers sense vibration, or even a shadow, they quickly swim to the bottom of the container away from potential danger. It's best to wait a while for your eyes to adjust and for the mosquitoes to slowly rise to the surface. Approaching the container cautiously can help prevent the wigglers from swimming out of view. Either way, you should wait a minute or so to be sure. Once larvae are present, check the bucket daily for pupae.
Once the pupae or tumblers emerge, you'll be ready to collect the specimens to be displayed in the breeder. Collecting the aquatic specimens requires a little finesse.
A small, square-shaped container can be used to dip into the water to capture the specimens. With each dip, most of the larvae and pupae will escape. Focus your efforts on the pupae and large larvae because those will hatch first and provide you with adult specimens for your breeder. Dip the container in an area where the specimens are most concentrated. After dipping, pour out the excess water from the corner of the container to concentrate the specimens without letting them slip out. The corner of the container will give you a narrower and more manageable stream of water, and you can take advantage of the fact that the larvae will initially swim to the bottom of the dipper. Capture the specimens in the breeder or in another container that can be used to transport the specimens. The breeder may leak water if it is agitated during transport. As you add infested water to the breeder, you could pour excess water out while making sure juvenile stages don't get discarded as well. This will concentrate the aquatic stages in the breeder for display. Try to use as many pupae as possible. They will be the first to develop into adults. However, you should include larvae of all sizes to best illustrate the development cycle. Do not discard excess water in a drain or catch basin. Residual larvae and pupae could continue to develop there. It's best to discard the water onto soil, where the water can drain away and leave the juvenile stages on a surface that doesn't support their development. Once the aquatic specimens are placed in the breeder, and after you've secured the top chamber with the inverted funnel, your breeder will be ready for display.
When it's time to decommission the breeder, it should be placed in a plastic bag and then in a refrigerator for a half hour or longer. Make sure the adult mosquitoes are no longer active.
Remove the top compartment of the breeder as well as the funnel. Discard the adults into a plastic bag and then crush the mosquitoes to be sure they are dead. Tie the top of the bag and discard it in the garbage. Any remaining larvae and pupae can be discarded onto soil.
It's not uncommon for people to see mosquito larvae where they live, work, play, and relax, but not a lot of people know what they are. Mosquito breeders offer a fun way to learn about mosquitoes and what to do about them. If you have questions about setting up or using breeders, feel free to call your local vector control agency.